Yes. First of all, hey, and welcome for coming. Thank you for coming. Welcome. Yeah, my English is so we're starting up with what did you wonder about the most before coming to Umeå?
Well, I think that before I came here, I was wondering the most about the living, like where would I live and like how like everything works here.
I was mostly interested in how the school system works, which sort of classes I would be in, where the buildings would be, and how close as well I would be living to the university.
Okay, so more like you were more focused about school.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the biggest readjustment with moving to Umeå? Like, what's the biggest difference from your homeland or hometown?
Definitely the weather for me. A little bit colder here.
Yeah, a little bit.
But otherwise,
Well, actually, Umeå is pretty same kind of city like my hometown. So when I came here, I felt like home immediately. So
Yeah, that's a good thing too.
yeah.
What surprised you the most? Like, what was most different from your expectations?
From the expectations, I'd say that the school system, and we have only like one course at a time. We didn't know that before we came here.
yeah, and then you can do 4-year programs as well. That's something that's very different.
Okay, you can't do four-year programs.
We do 3 or 5. Usually.
3 or 5.
Same in Finland. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I think that's the most standard. Like, it's nice to go to one class individually.
It surprised me as well how close everything was in the town as well.
Why did you choose to study in Sweden, and why just Umeå?
I chose Sweden because I wanted to continue studying the Swedish language. So although I do study in English, which is a huge benefit, the Swedish language really helped. That was a benefit. But Umeå specifically was because of our course that's in English,
Okay.
which isn't offered very many places.
Yeah, actually the same for me. I decided to come to Sweden and to Umeå because I wanted to study in English, and it's not really possible in Finland. So that's fine.
Yeah, so you can say that the internationalization
Yes.
was a big thing. Yeah, well, I've heard it before as well. What attracted you the most about Sweden and Umeå in this process? Same question as before, but we can skip that one. What do you think is special about Umeå compared to other Swedish cities and other universities?
Definitely that we have an incredible student life. When you do go to the bigger cities, you miss out on the student life. But as well as that, we are very close to everything in the town and university where we're living.
Actually, I think I have nothing to add. Like,
Okay. It's the same. Yeah. What has been your biggest improvement in your living, like in your everyday life, compared to living in your homeland? What do you appreciate the most about living? What would you miss if you went home today? Like, what would be?
Well, it comes down to the same answer, I guess, with the location.
Yeah.
It's really convenient to hop on your bike and be
go anywhere.
In 2 minutes. You can be at university, at shopping centres, in the centre of town. And that's like I'll definitely miss because it's not that convenient at home.
Okay. Which parts of the university and campus do you think are the most interesting for someone who's thinking about moving here? What would you show your friends if you were to sell Umeå to them?
Yeah, definitely the pond.
The pond.
Yeah, to have a campus that's situated around a pond is so beautiful. Really in touch with nature.
Okay. In terms of like which buildings of the university, if you speak in terms of buildings.
I really like Umeå. Yeah, I think it's beautiful because there's so much light.
The sun comes in, you can sit there and watch the whole afternoon sun. Yeah. And the library, of course.
Yeah, the library is really good.
Yeah, the clock. Yeah.
The clock.
It's us in the library.
It's in the roof,
Yeah,
isn't it?
the clock.
Maybe we should film with a 360 in the library so you can look
see the clock.
and see the
Get
clock.
it at the times when it's working.
Yeah. It's not always.
It's not always working.
No.
I've never seen it. I've heard of it, but I've never
What?
seen it. I've never, like, I've heard about there's a clock in the
Like it was one of the first things that I saw when I came
Yeah,
here.
they took us like on tours to the library to see the clock.
Yeah, like they don't do that with the Swedish students.
Go and see the clock.
No, they don't. How important do you think life outside school is? Like, how important is student life and other things besides school?
I think it's extremely important because it comes down to that we are in Umeå and we do have the student life. If you are in bigger cities like Stockholm, you only see some friends during class time. So it's extremely important that we can go into ICSU together and go and train, that we can go and hang out outside of school, including the student hubs and things like that, events.
Yeah, I also think that it's really important to have like good balance between school and like the spare time. So yeah, I like Umeå because yeah, I was gonna say that there's a lot to do, but like any examples?
Maybe the studying becomes a bit less boring when you have fun things to do in your spare time.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
won't be stuck in your corridor.
Yeah.
Like you will be out.
Even
hanging
when
out
you
with
are
friends.
studying, you can meet up for a coffee break and be there all in 5 minutes and meet up with your friends.
And set by the bond.
Yeah.
If you were to make a marketing movie to attract international students to Umeå, what would your main focus be? Like if you were doing this project? Like what would you show your friends if you wanted them to move here?
I would show the campus area and the Umeå. It's really beautiful, and the bridges.
Yeah, we think we have been filming down at Designhögskolan.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's a lot of things comes down to that it's a new city.
Yeah.
It's really fresh. It's really young. And I think like there's a lot of, it's not the culture capital for no reason. Like there's a lot of different things like that. So I think it's important to show that I would at least focus on the nature and how open it is and how in touch with nature everything is. And yeah, fresh.
Yeah, I've heard today actually in the interviews that Umeå is one of the fastest growing cities in Europe.
Yeah.
In Europe.
Europe, like growth per.
I think on our first day here as an international student, the town, what would you say, mayor or something, came and told us about how by 2050 their aim is to double the current population.
Yeah.
That's what they're working on. So it's growing fast, and they've got that as a reasonable goal.
Yeah, and it's like you can see that it's a university city. Like new things happen in Umeå really fast compared to other cities.
Yeah.
And that's just not good for like international students. It's good for all students.
Yeah. It's important for your studies as an international student to be studying in such a forward-thinking town.
What is the best thing about studying in Umeå?
I really like the international feeling here, and
Yeah.
the international feeling and that everything is so close.
Yeah, it's maybe the same as before, but
Yeah, but I was trying to think of more on the international feeling because that's something that is really different in terms of the buddy program and all the different groups that you're in.
yeah.
That's something that is really special within Umeå.
And when I'm compared to my hometown, I think that there's not that many international students in my hometown, so I really like them.
Yeah,
Everyone's really international here, I'd say.
Have you both been involved in the buddy program?
Yes.
Do you think has it been good? Like,
Yeah, it was
Has it
incredible.
helped
It
you?
was a little bit different for us in terms of we both were very in touch with Sweden already, and we already had a friend group because we weren't here just as exchange students. We're here
No, you
as
have a
free
program,
movers,
yeah.
so we have a program with friends. So I can imagine it's of more benefit if you're here alone. But it was so much fun because we got to meet people from different countries that were in the same position as us and go on adventures and do the typical Swedish things. That was fun.
going like elk guide
We
tour?
ate surströmming.
You ate surströmming.
That was gross.
That's really gross. Most Swedes think that as well. So don't judge us. Last of all, what's your best experience about Umeå so far? Like, what is your best memory or best experience
In Sparken.
in Spiken?
Definitely in Sparken. Spend the first week here getting crazy with all of your new friends and getting to know everyone, getting to know the town.
Yeah, it really is crazy, right?
Yeah,
I say that it was one of the best weeks of my life.
easily.
Great. Thank you very much.